we're back on the final open business day of DSEI. We've just heard the Defence Secretary John Healey give us his valedictory statements on the state of UK defence. So Francis, he was very big on cooperation with industry and the rising in defence spending, but very short on detail executing those plans.
This is something which, again, going around the bazaars, speaking to companies from SMEs up to the big international primes, this is precisely the thing they're saying, detail. And yes, people are still digesting the defence industrial strategy, but people are saying it's about leadership, it's about getting on with things. And if, as we've heard from many of the service chiefs, the UK has to be ready potentially to fight high-end war within 2 years. People are saying, you've got to start buying stuff now, not sometime 6 months, 1 year into the future. And I suspect a number of people will know well, it's not quite an acronym, but JFDI. That's the phrase coming out of industry. Actions speak far louder than words. And they're just saying, declarations that X number of contracts were let in the last year. Some of those contracts will have been bid over 5 or 6 years. And people at the moment are just saying, there's all this talk about the rising defence budget, there's no money.
Well, what I thought was very interesting also was the emphasis he put on, and it's very rare to hear it from British ministers, offset. If Britain buys American or overseas kit, we want those companies to buy stuff from the UK, or those countries to buy stuff from the UK.
This is going to be very interesting to watch. I will give one thing. The Type 26 deal with Norway, the UK, and we might not know this quite yet, the Norwegians are going to demand very significant offsets, which for 10 billion, I think they have a right to do. However, I am going to have to be uber cynical. Traditionally, there is an offset policy in existence today, and you always get we looked at it, we decided for this contract, we don't really have to do it. So it is going to require someone, is it the National Armaments Director, is it the Secretary of State, faced with any deals with especially US defence primes, and there is no offset, to say, I'm sorry, this goes nowhere until you get some offset back. The rubber's going to have to hit the road on that one, because people have heard this before. And they'll say, yeah, I remember the last time, it never happened.
I mean, I also noticed that the Secretary of State gave the sort of appearance and his sort of body language of being really comfortable in his skin here. He was not a Labour minister who was embarrassed to be here and be telling his story. And he was advocating for defence in Britain and it being good for Britain's economy in a way that, is refreshingly new.
Would agree entirely, and he praised his new defence procurement and industry minister Luke Pollard, who spoke here on the first day. Yes, you have a team who seem to have a much better idea of, we're here now, we don't want to be, we certainly want to be somewhere over there. It's probably, I think, the most confident and bedded in team you or I have seen for some time.
Well, we're going to spend the next couple of months, years, weeks seeing how it all pans out, and read all about it and see it all on Defence Site.